You keep attracting broken people, the energy vampires, manipulators, and emotional fixers, while the grounded, emotionally healthy ones seem to pass you by. This isn't bad luck. There's a deep psychological reason why your Sigma traits act like a magnet for the wrong kind of people. And once you understand it, you can finally break the cycle. As a Sigma male, you probably assumed that your independence, emotional strength, and calm self-reliance would draw strong, stable individuals into your life. But instead, you keep finding yourself entangled with narcissists, codependents, and emotionally volatile people who latch onto your energy and refuse to let go. Meanwhile, the balanced and self-assured people you'd actually want to connect with seem indifferent, or barely even notice you exist. In this video, we're uncovering the uncomfortable truth about why your Sigma nature often attracts toxicity instead of peace, and what you must understand to shift that pattern for good. By the end, you'll see the hidden psychological mechanism that's been quietly sabotaging your relationships all along, and finally learn how to reverse it. Reason 1, your emotional stability attracts chaos addicts. Here's the first brutal truth: your calm, grounded energy acts like a magnet for people who are drowning in emotional chaos. Ever notice how the most dramatic, unstable individuals always seem drawn to you? That's not random, it's psychological. Your emotional balance is exactly what chaos-addicted people crave to stabilize themselves. Here's what's really happening. People who can't regulate their own emotions unconsciously search for someone who can. Your Sigma traits, emotional self-sufficiency, composure, and steady presence, signal that you possess the inner control they lack. This draws in specific types. People with unresolved trauma who see you as their healer. Drama addicts who need your calm to offset their instability. Emotionally volatile individuals who use your presence as their anchor. Crisis-prone personalities who expect you to rescue them again and again. They're not truly attracted to you, they're attracted to the emotional regulation service they believe you'll provide. You become their unpaid therapist, their emotional sponge, their stability on demand. What makes this dangerous is how subtle it begins. These people often appear composed at first, mirroring your calm to earn your trust. But once you're emotionally invested, their chaos surfaces, and you're already entangled. Because you're naturally patient, empathetic, and solution-oriented, you end up staying longer than you should. What starts as compassion slowly turns into emotional enablement, feeding their dependence instead of inspiring their growth. And here's the contrast. Emotionally healthy people notice your strength, but they don't feel the need to merge with it. They don't crave your stability because they already have their own. That's why they don't chase you, not out of rejection, but out of balance. Reason 2, your mystery attracts people who need to fix you. Here's the second brutal truth: your natural mystery and emotional privacy become irresistible magnets for people with savior complexes. Ever notice how some people get obsessed with figuring you out or breaking through your walls? These aren't people who respect your privacy, they see your boundaries as puzzles to solve. Here's the psychology behind it. Your selective vulnerability and calm detachment trigger what psychologists call the fixer fantasy. Some people mistake your self-reliance for hidden pain they're destined to heal. The types this draws in include codependent women who feel valuable only when they're healing someone. People with savior complexes who want to be the one who got through. Emotional archaeologists who treat your privacy as buried trauma to dig up. Boundary pushers who see your limits as obstacles to conquer. Idealists who romanticize broken men and want to be your redemption story. This dynamic quickly turns toxic. These people aren't attracted to you, they're addicted to their fantasy of you. They fall for the version they've invented in their mind, not your reality. Fixer types often start by respecting your boundaries to earn trust. But slowly, they escalate their efforts to make you open up, disguising control as care. And when they realize you're not damaged or refuse to play their project, they lose interest or become resentful. They never wanted a partner. They wanted a patient. The deeper truth is that your privacy isn't about hiding pain, it's about sharing yourself only with those who've earned it. But fixers misread that as proof of hidden wounds. This misunderstanding poisons the relationship from the start. Healthy people don't do that. Secure individuals respect boundaries without needing to conquer them. They understand gradual intimacy and never treat your silence as rejection. Reason 3, your competence attracts the incompetent. Here's the third brutal truth: your competence makes you a magnet for people who want to be rescued. Your calm efficiency and problem-solving nature don't just attract admiration, they attract dependence. Ever notice how helpless people seem to find you everywhere you go? Here's why. People who refuse to build real-life skills instinctively look for someone to carry their weight. Your Sigma traits, independence, resourcefulness, and clear thinking, signal that you can handle what they can't. The types this attracts include professionally stagnant people seeking career shortcuts. Financially reckless people looking for a safety net. Practically helpless individuals who can't manage basic responsibilities. Decision-paralyzed people who want you to make every choice. Chronic underachievers hoping to ride your momentum. These people don't want to learn from your competence, they want to leech from it. You become their personal problem solver, while they contribute little or nothing. Your strength enables their weakness. Every time you fix their mess, you reinforce their dependency. Over time, these relationships become parasitic. You're giving your time, energy, and solutions, while they take endlessly and feel entitled to more. Truly competent people, on the other hand, appreciate your skills but never exploit them. They have their own strength, and they see partnership as mutual growth, not one-sided rescue. Reason 4, your non-judgment attracts people with deep character flaws. Here's the fourth brutal truth. Your calm, non-judgmental energy, the very thing that makes you grounded and wise, also makes you a magnet for people hiding deep character flaws. People feel safe around you, sometimes too safe. Your quiet, composed demeanor gives others the sense that you won't criticize, expose, or condemn them. To emotionally mature people, this makes you trustworthy. But to those with weak integrity, that same energy becomes an open door for manipulation. You've probably noticed this before. Individuals with shady ethics, moral inconsistencies, or hidden agendas often find comfort in your presence. They confide in you. They linger. They test your reactions. Why? Because your tendency to observe before judging gives them breathing space. You don't react impulsively. You analyze. You let people reveal themselves over time. But here's the trap: toxic individuals mistake that patience for approval. Psychologically, this happens because most people with poor character are used to instant rejection. When they act out, others pull away or confront them immediately. But you don't. You let things unfold. You give them the benefit of the doubt. To them, that feels like acceptance, when in reality, you're just gathering information. This is why you often attract the wrong kinds of people. Those with flexible morals who keep testing your limits, just to see how much you'll tolerate. Manipulators who interpret your patience as naivety, assuming your silence means they can get away with more. Habitual liars who confuse your neutrality with trust, mistaking your stillness for belief. Users who see your calm composure as an opportunity to take advantage without facing confrontation. Toxic individuals rejected by others, who see you as their last refuge, a place to hide from accountability. This is where the pattern becomes toxic. Your lack of immediate judgment isn't a sign of weakness, it's a sign of wisdom. You observe because you understand that people reveal their truth over time. But to those operating in deceit, your patience feels like validation. Your silence becomes their permission slip. And by the time their true nature surfaces, you're often already entangled, emotionally, socially, or even professionally. When you finally call them out or set boundaries, they react with shock and outrage. They say things like, "I thought you were different." What they really mean is, "I thought you wouldn't hold me accountable." And that's the real cost of your non-judgmental nature, not the misunderstanding itself, but the emotional exhaustion that follows. You end up investing your energy into people who were never capable of self-reflection, hoping they'll eventually rise to your level of integrity. But they rarely do. The deeper problem lies in your perspective. You judge based on patterns, not isolated incidents. That's a strength, it shows wisdom and fairness. But it also means you give too many chances to those who are already showing you who they are. You wait for proof when their behavior has already spoken volumes. Healthy people, on the other hand, don't need your non-judgment as protection. They don't feel the need to hide or justify themselves because they've already faced their shadows. They won't see your silence as an opportunity, they'll see it as respect. And that's the difference. Your calm energy isn't meant to be a sanctuary for chaos, it's meant to be a reflection of discernment. You were never meant to fix or heal those who refuse to change. Your silence should filter people, not shelter them. Because once you realize that your patience is sacred energy, you'll stop wasting it on those who mistake your empathy for an open invitation to exploit it. Reason 5, your independence attracts clingy, dependent people. Here's the fifth brutal truth: your self-sufficiency acts like a magnet for people who have no independence of their own. Ever notice how the neediest, most dependent people seem drawn to you? It's not because your independence repels them, it's because they see it as a resource they can drain. They're subconsciously searching for someone strong enough to carry both people in the relationship. Here's the psychology behind it. Dependent individuals are attracted to those who don't need anything back. Your sigma independence signals emotional self-containment, which makes you the perfect target for those who crave attachment without accountability. The types this attracts: emotionally dependent people who can't function without constant connection. Socially clingy individuals with no life or identity outside relationships. People who lack self-definition and need to merge with someone stronger. Approval addicts who constantly seek reassurance. Decision-paralyzed individuals who want you to make every choice for them. This creates a toxic cycle. Instead of your independence inspiring mutual strength, it invites dependency. Your resilience becomes permission for their weakness. Most people miss this, but dependent personalities are specifically drawn to overfunctioners, people who naturally take responsibility. They know you'll carry the emotional, mental, and even practical load, so they never have to develop their own stability. Here's what makes it dangerous. These relationships always follow the same pattern. The stronger and more self-reliant you are, the more helpless they become. Your strength doesn't empower them, it enables them. The deeper problem? Your comfort with solitude makes it easy to overlook clinginess until it's too late. By the time you notice their dependency, they've already latched on and become resistant to any change. Why healthy people don't approach? Independent people want equals, not caretakers. They don't view your self-sufficiency as an invitation to offload responsibility, they respect it and want to match it. Ever notice what all the wrong people have in common? They're not trying to build with you, they're trying to take from you. Chaos addicts want your emotional regulation. Fixers want your mystery to solve. Incompetent people want your problem solving. Morally flawed people want your non-judgment. Dependent people want your independence to lean on. Here's the meta pattern: your sigma strengths are being used as resources, not appreciated as qualities. These people don't love you, they love what they can extract from you. And here's the brutal truth: the very traits that make you irresistible to the wrong people often make you invisible to the right ones. Healthy, balanced individuals aren't driven by desperation. They're calm, self-sufficient, and selective. They don't chase emotional stability, they already have it. They don't pry into your mystery, they respect your privacy. They don't need rescue, they handle their own problems. They don't exploit your patience or cling to your independence, they bring their own strength to the table. That's why the wrong people pursue you aggressively while the right ones stay at a respectful distance. Toxic people need you. Healthy people simply see you. Here's what you need to understand. You can't stop toxic people from being attracted to your light, but you can stop letting them in. The goal isn't to dim your sigma traits, it's to strengthen your filter. How to fix the pattern? Screen for chaos addiction. Notice how people handle their emotions early on. If they're constantly trauma dumping or creating drama, walk away. Screen for fixers. If someone's pushing past your boundaries for your own good, that's manipulation disguised as care. Leave immediately. Screen for incompetence. Watch whether people solve their own problems or subtly offload them onto you. Screen for character flaws. Don't give endless chances to red flags, your first impression is usually right. Screen for dependence. Pay attention to whether they have a full life or are trying to make you their entire world. The truth is, toxic people reveal themselves fast, if you're watching closely. The issue is that your patience and tolerance make you overlook warning signs longer than you should. Here's the hope. The same traits that attract toxic people can also attract high-value, healthy ones, if you stop entertaining the wrong ones. The right person will appreciate your stability without draining it. Respect your mystery without trying to fix it. Admire your competence without depending on it. Value your non-judgment without abusing it. Match your independence with their own. These people exist. They're just not chasing you, they're waiting to be noticed by someone equally grounded. So stop being passively receptive to whoever approaches you. Start being actively selective about who gets access to your time, energy, and peace. Your sigma traits aren't the problem. The problem is how long you tolerate those who misuse them. You're not attracting wrong, you're filtering wrong. Fix the filter. Change your life. And remember, being selective isn't arrogance, it's emotional intelligence. Final thought. Your non-judgmental nature is a double-edged sword. It's what makes you mysterious, calm, and emotionally grounded, but it's also what makes you a magnet for chaos. You don't rush to label people. You prefer to observe quietly, to understand before reacting. That's strength. But in a world full of manipulative and morally flexible people, that strength can easily be mistaken for permission. When you give people space to reveal who they are, the right ones will use that space to build trust, while the wrong ones will use it to test boundaries. And here's the brutal truth: those with deep character flaws thrive around people like you because they can hide behind your silence longer than they could anywhere else. They think your calm means acceptance, your patience means approval, and your kindness means weakness. But they're wrong. Your observation isn't submission, it's strategy. You've just been playing the long game without realizing it. The key is learning when to stop observing and start enforcing. Because by the time you've gathered enough data to see someone clearly, you're often already entangled in their dysfunction. That's how they win, not through power, but through time. So, understand this. Your non-judgmental energy doesn't need to change, your boundaries do. You can stay calm, composed, and grounded, but you must be decisive when you see patterns of manipulation. You don't owe anyone endless patience, especially when that patience becomes a doorway for disrespect. The healthy, grounded individuals, the ones who mirror your strength, don't fear your judgment. They respect it. They don't need a safe zone to hide their flaws because they've already faced them. Those are your people. Those are the ones who will meet your silence with peace, not chaos. In the end, being Sigma isn't about avoiding emotion, it's about mastering discernment. You don't need to become harder, just sharper. Your calm doesn't need to disappear, it just needs direction. And when you combine quiet observation with firm boundaries, you become untouchable. Because the moment you stop giving chaos a safe place to hide, you stop attracting it altogether.